Okay, we'll start from now.
Good morning everyone. Today our group will present SDG 8 Design Work and Economic Growth with a comparative analysis between Penang and Sabah. My name is Penny Chompeni and together with my group members, Ping Ying, Nadia, Lowy and Zhen Shen, we will discuss how both states perform under SDG 8, the challenges they face, and the policy recommendation that can help improve job quality and economic growth. Now I will begin with the introduction to SDG 8. SDG 8 stands for Design Work and Economic Growth. The goal of SDG 8 is to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, productive employment, and design work for everyone. However, many countries still face challenges in creating quality jobs. While new jobs are being created, not all workers have access to skilled, productive, and well-paid employment. This is an important global economic issue because poor job quality can slow economic growth, increase income inequality, and reduce people quality of life.
Now I'll be presenting for Penang under SDG. Okay, labor productivity reached 105,585 ringgit per worker in 2024, which is above national average. However, the semiconductor industry is expected to face a 35% talent gap by 2026 as demand for skilled workers grows faster than local supply. This could widen the wage gap between skilled and unskilled workers, showing that strong economic growth does not always mean better job quality. On governance, the Gig Workers Act 2025 require gig workers to contribute to SOXO, supported by a 70% government subsidy. Budget 2026 also increased Aisaraan plus EKF matching to 600 ringgit per year for informal workers. This policy strengthens social protection, but because participation is still voluntary, coverage remains limited. That's all for my part. Now I will pass to you.
Now I proceed to the comparative analysis of Sabah, focusing on 8 policy implementations and governance accountability. First, let's look at the policy implementations. Under the SMJ 2.0 roadmap, the state government prioritized the TVET, entrepreneurship and investments to strengthen the workforce capabilities, encourage business development, and create employment opportunity. This initiative aims to improve the access to more skilled, productive, and decent jobs. However, the policy's outcomes remain below expectations. According to the Malaysia SDG dashboard, the Sabah SDG 8 status is classified as major challenge remains, with progress below 50% of the rate required to achieve the goal. In addition, the Department of Statistics Malaysia reported that Sabah labor productivity reached only 62,070 ringgit per worker in 2024, which means that many workers remain concentrated in lower regulated sectors. This indicates that despite ongoing policy initiative, the transition towards higher quality employment has been relatively slow. Next. In terms of governance accountability, the implementation of SDG 8 is coordinated by the SMJ Secretariat, the Sabah State Economy Planning Unit, and the Jabatan Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Sabah, which called JPSN Sabah. These institutions are responsible for planning, coordinating, and monitoring employment-related programs across the state. However, the fragmented coordinations between the federal, state, and local governments, together with the rural service delivery gaps, limited enforcement capacity, and Sabah dispersed geography weakens institutional effectiveness. Consequently, policy implementation is uneven across the district, making it harder
business, current policy also shows that Penang is more inclusive than Sabah. In Penang, STEM policy extends access to high-skilled jobs, allowing more people to participate in the modern workplace. Conversely, Sabah rural communities barriers in training and high-value opportunities, making current policies less inclusive in practice. Penang is more sustainable because of STEM and talent policy foster high skills employment in advanced industries such as E&E while equipping workers with future-ready skills. In contrast, Sabah's sustainability remains weaker at job quality and skill upgrading. Although current policy create jobs, greater investment in skill and quality employment is needed to achieve long-term SDGs.
Next, how to assess the nation policy response at different levels of government. So starting with the federal government, the Malaysia has introduced several nationwide policies, including the workforce skill, creating high-value jobs, and increasing labor productivity. Show the evidence got show that under NIP can be 2030. The managing sector recorded approximately 200,000 jobs, while median salary increased by around 8.2%. So, however, despite this achievement, the benefits are not equally distributed across Malaysia. Before, the issue is not a lack of national policy. So, let's moving on to the state government. So, for example, Penang has set up this level plays the most important role because it converts the national policy into actual economic outcome. So, for example, Penang has established the Penang PSDC, which works closely with industry to develop skilled workers, and through the Invest Penang, the state also actively attracts foreign direct investments. In contrast, Sabah has introduced the Sabah Majujaya program, which focuses on TVT, entrepreneurship, and investment promotion. So, as a result, the Penang enjoys stronger manufacturing growth, better employment security, and lower unemployment, while Sabah will face challenges as limited industry diversification, global investment inflow, and shortage of skilled workers. So this comparison suggests that state level government is the key determinant of SDG 8 performance. So because that successful implementation depends on each state government capacity and investment environment and workforce development. So next.
Based on our findings,
So finally, at the local authority level, the local council such as create a better business environment, but they do not directly formulate employment or industry policy. So moreover, pro-local governance such as schools licensing or inadequate infrastructure may discourage investment and business expansion. Because local authority level has limited power, so they depend heavily on state government for funding and policy guidance. So as a result, their role is mainly supportive rather than decisive. So in conclusion, while the federal government provides comprehensive national policy, the state government bears the greatest responsibility for achieving SDG 8 because it determines how effectively these policies are implemented. Now I will pass.
based on our findings, we have three main policy recommendations for Penang government, incentives should be linked to wages benchmarks. This means companies should provide better salary if they want to Finally, at the national level, government grants should be linked to fair wages and better worker protections. This will improve accountability and encourage employers to provide decent working conditions. In conclusion, this recommendation can help create better jobs, reduce regional inequality, and support Malaysia's progress toward achieving SDG 8. Thank you. That's all for our presentations.
Can you go back to the slide? Policy evaluation. This one. Yeah. Fairness. Let's talk about fairness. Just now, from whatever you have stated here, the Penang unemployment 2.7%, and then Sabah unemployment 7.6%. But I remember you did mention the last statement before we move to inclusiveness. You mentioned about the policy are still not fair enough for both of the states. Why?
Because for Penang, yes, have many job opportunities, but still have talent. Talent, and for Sabah is less on job opportunity. So now currently policies will not be fair to each state, but between Penang and Sabah, Penang is more talent than Sabah.
Oh, so your meaning is Penang got a lot of jobs opportunities
Yeah, but
compared to Sabah. However, at the same time, Penang also got better talent compared to Sabah.
lack of talent.
Penang lack of talent. Okay, so lack of talent, alright. Then in Sabah, really lack of unemployment. So just now you mentioned that it's unfair for both states is because of the jobs opportunity. Penang got a lot, then Sabah is, so it means that it's not unfair for then my interpretation might be wrong because the last statement is unfair for all states, for both states. So I thought that the policy is also unfair for Penang. That's what I'm thinking. 7.6%, okay. That's different. Alright, then we go back to the just now, the last slide. The recommendations. Yeah, I love this. The first policy recommendation, tie incentive to wages benchmark. How do we benchmark wages?
Company need to pay like minimum salary for worker or minimum salary so they can get government support.
Need to pay better salary or better wage so that they can support the daily life. Then, from a point of view, how much is sufficient? How much is sufficient? Salary per month. We go for a very simple thing. Common office executive per month. How much of a salary, from your opinion, is sufficient? Is enough? Or taking this more simplified version, after you graduate, your first job, what is your expected salary per month? Again? 2005, seriously? That's your expected salary? Then do you think it's enough for your monthly expenses or not? You come and see? Enough? Okay, great. Alright, this time I have no questions.
Okay, I wanted to ask further about the first one. Tie the incentive for to the wages benchmark, right? Let's say you tie to the how to tie the I don't understand actually how to tie the incentive to the wages benchmark for the specific state only. So it means that let's say the MNC company they set up company in Penang, right? So they need to give a certain amount of the wages which are higher than other states. Does that mean that? Because now our government implement the minimum wages is applied for whole country now. So this one is that they are specific for Penang? For the whole country. So means that you propose, actually you are one who propose to increase the minimum wages.
The company pay the minimum for 1,700. For some company, I think not pay 1,700. For the company, at least they need to do this if they want to for Penang government to support them.
Like just now what you mentioned, right, is Mr. Cosmo, they mentioned how much? 2,000 plus.
2005.
Is that means that we push up our minimum wage from 1,700 to 2,005? Is that what you propose? Okay.
Oh, you go slow, step by step. 1,700 minimum salary. Is it fair for the workers?
At least they need to get the 1,700.
But at least they need to get the 1,700.
Not
Then from the answer just now you are mentioning, hey, perhaps maybe some company does not pay 1,700. Do you personally experience this situation? Hey, I did everything, man. I'm full-time workers, man, but I didn't get 1,700. Or any of your friends got
yeah,
this?
my friends.
Really? But if they don't pay 1,700 the minimum wages, the company will in trouble, no?
Really?
Because this is a law. This is a law that the companies against the law.
Then today let me tell you all, others students you also listen to this. If one day you go to work and you found that the company does not pay you the minimum salary 1,700, you can go to state regulatory, seek for free legal services. As long as your monthly salary is lower than 3,000 or 2,000, if I'm not mistaken, you can get a free legal services to sue back your company, or you want to sue anyone which has offended you. Totally free. Then if in this case, better you go back, inform your friend. Very easy thing, just make an email or make a call to this type of legal service, free legal services. Soon enough, he or she can get back a big lump sum of compensation. Don't play. This one now, because when Malaysia had increased the minimum salary starting from 900 all the way until now 1,700, a lot of SME is really need to bear these types of consequences. They need to pay. That's why their costs getting higher and higher. So that means they can't afford to make another big compensation if they do not fulfill. They can straight away go bankrupt or bearing very high debts and don't play. So yeah, continue Mr. Ang Yong one.
Okay. So the 1,700 is enough, or not enough actually? Not enough. So you propose to increase to 2003, 2005 or 3? This one?
5.
2005. Is that? This is what you propose, right? Okay. So my following question is, okay, since you propose to increase the minimum wages, not only Penang, right, for the whole country. Okay. So could it become the backfires to pushing our investor, right, to the other country? Because once you increase the minimum wages means that the cost of production, cost of operation will increase. Right? Will we go to the push our MNC company, the foreign investor, to the other country like the Vietnam, Cambodia, which their minimum wages, or maybe they don't have minimum wages at all, so going to reduce their operation costs? No, it means that when you propose to increase the minimum wages, right? So it means that the cost of operation or even the cost of production will increase. right? For example, like Intel, right? They want to recruit one labor here. Previously, they need to spend 1,007, now become the 2,005, right? So if I set up my new plant in Indonesia, maybe I just need to pay them 1,000 regulations. So would it this a new policy or what you propose will push this type of the MNC company go to other country? You said they will terminate all the plant here, then they will move to the other country because they can enjoy the lower cost. Why not?
Don't be so nervous. No need to consider whether your answer is right or wrong. There are no right answer, there are no wrong answer. We just wanted to hear from you all. What do you think about this? Nothing wrong, nothing right. What do you think about this? So you can start to think from this way. If your answer is yes, then maybe perhaps you want to do some amendment on what you have recommended. If your answer is no, why you think it's no? Minimum salary 17 go up to 25. Need to pay extra how much? 800. So wait, simple mathematics, only one person answered correctly, 800. 800. Satu kepala 800. If you hire 10 workers, how much you need to pay extra? 8,000 per month. 1 year? Come on, you have your phone on your hand, you can use it. You need to utilize whatever tools.
96,000.
96,000. So will this push the MNC out from Malaysia so that they might get a lower cost, especially labor cost in other states? The nearest one, let's say Indonesia. Indonesia as the third largest population country in the world. Then you know that you learned econs before, but in my class one, in diploma one last time, if I'm not mistaken. So when your quantity is a lot, the price will be lower. So in this case, out. Macam mana? What do you think if you are the government? How can you solve it? Not to say solve it. What is the thought? Come on, there's something. There's something.
Maybe we can have like two mutual agreements between government and MNC, like discuss, like maybe the one propose what before is 1,700, right? Okay, maybe 2,500 is like quite a lot. So government can propose half from the 2,500 and we can discuss with the MNC because if MNC go out from our country, our people will also lost job.
Lost even more.
Yeah,
Lost even more.
lost even more job. So I think we cannot do like one side decision.
Okay, alright, one decision. At least answer something to me. Or can you accept this? Is that okay? There can be also thing of course to be honest, you guys haven't catch the core problems here. Labor cost, the costing. The company not just only facing labor costs. The company may face other costs. Other costs as well. So overhead costs, something like tax payment is one of the costs that they need to bear as well, where government have the control power on how much tax the MNC need to pay, or then the cost they need to pay to the supplier, where government can manage the supplier, provide a low price to the MNC, so the cost might be lower. There's lots of different types of costs you can think about, but I just also wanted to highlight this one. Labor cost is the most significant cost. Right? That's why whenever we are under economic crisis, first of all, to reduce costs, MNC will reduce labor. That's how you make calculation one. Satu kepala, 1 workers, extra 800. 10 workers, 8,000. 1 year, 96,000. Then they tell me how much you need to sell, how much production you need to produce, only can make you gain back this 96,000 net. Kan? Don't play. Oh. My last questions. We go back to Sabah, right? no, here again. Yes. Sabah, I just wanted to ask you all your opinion. If we want to ensure this SDG number 8, decent work and economic growth, this SDG 8 able to be better achievement, which industry in Sabah should be developed first and how we can develop it in Sabah? What is SDG 8? Decent work and economic growth. Done? So if you want to have decent work, means you must have work opportunity first. Economic growth, when you have job opportunity, many people work, then the economy only can grow. So, which industry Sabah need to really urgently need to develop so that we can achieve decent work first, or to create more job opportunities first? Industry, which industry? Tourism industry, okay. Based on your opinion, how to develop tourism industry?
Government can do more advertisement for Sabah
Okay.
that attract the tourists.
Okay.
Then government also can give to Sabah for create their infrastructure sector. Let the tourists want to come.
Infrastructure and also advertise more. Okay, alright, thank you very much. I have nothing further.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you.